What conspiracy theories do you think are too logical to ignore? David Miscavige, the chairman of the Church of Scientology, definitely murdered his wife and is getting off scot-free for it. Him and his wife got into a pretty heated argument in 2007, and she hasn't been seen since. Lawyers hired by David claim she is still alive and devotes 100% of her time to work at the Church of Scientology, which is why she hasn't been seen since August 2007. In 2013, a former member of the church had filed a missing person report that was closed after a few officers had spoken and seen Mrs. Miscavige, even though there's no evidence whatsoever of this meeting. All missing persons reports now are turned down since this investigation is forever closed. She is either dead or locked in a bunker. That this question is reposted every couple of weeks by them to see just how close the public is to figuring out their schemes. And that this response is reposted every time to throw you off our trail. Mattress Firm is a drug cartel or a money laundering company, or maybe they're laundering money for the drug cartels. I don't know, but whatever it is, they're up to no good. With the number of millionaires/billionaires that are psychopaths or similar, there must be a few super-rich serial killers out there. By extension, there must be people making money supplying victims in the same way Epstein was supplying girls to the wealthy who wanted to scratch an itch. With the money, power and influence would come governments and intelligence agencies willing to overlook or cover up terrible actions for leverage. New Coke was a way for Coca-Cola to switch from real sugar to corn syrup without people noticing. Switch to the new formula that everyone hates, keep it for a while so that people demand the old one back, then switch it back after enough time has passed that people wouldn't notice the relatively subtle change. Nothing is actually happening in Area 51. The government just keep it so people will focus on it and ignore the shady stuff happening somewhere else. Actually, Area 51 was created during the Cold War as a testing and development facility for aircraft, including the U-2 and SR-71 Blackbird reconnaissance planes. And currently it's probably being used to test few weapons, and that's it. Every country has their secret projects and we all know it. The entire alien and conspiracy theories have only fueled movies and TV shows. That's it. That the US knowingly left POWs behind in Vietnam. Google Maps only asks you for feedback on its navigation when it knows it did a good job. I use navigation all the time, and I find that when it gets me to the destination on time or earlier than predicted, I get a notification asking to rate the trip. But if it gets me there after it originally estimated, I never get that notification. The fashion industry makes too much money from purses to care about making pockets for women easily available. All the people saying just buy men's pants have apparently never seen a woman's hips. Wanna really have your mind blown? Take your pants to a seamstress, we can add pockets or make existing pockets bigger. I do it all the time. $5 a pocket and I measure your phone to make sure it fits in without any issues. The reason Disney came out with a movie called Frozen was so that when you Googled Disney Frozen you would get information about the movie and not websites talking about Walt Disney's body being frozen. The same goes for Disney on Ice. I like that people always are worried that Epstein was murdered instead of suicide. What if this was a ploy to cover up that he just escaped or paid his way out of prison? Secret societies definitely exist. No, we don't. This one is small and local but still too insane to ignore and just came up today. Just recently, our small suburban town's favorite gas station went out of business. Everyone went there, the guy who ran it was the mayor. He retires and sells the property after an issue with the ground underneath the gas pumps. They tear down the gas pumps and keep the garage, Mavis Tire bought the property and opened a new store. A few days after the Mavis opens, someone posts a picture on Facebook of an intersection at a road near it with nails all over the road. The guy theorizes that a box of nails fell off of a construction truck. The police come clean it up and it seems all is well. Fast forward a few days later and people are commenting on the post that they're finding nails in their car tires. Not just from that intersection. People jokingly say maybe it was the new Mavis guys throwing nails around, but nothing really happens. Several weeks later, people have been posting day in and day out pictures of nails in their car tires. My dad took my car into the Mavis in question about 3 weeks ago and they found a nail inside of the right front tire. I noticed that it was driving sort of funny, but never that my tire was on the verge of exploding. I jokingly said people have been saying you guys have just been going around throwing nails all over the place, trying not to laugh at how insane it sounded to say out loud. The guy behind the counter said nothing but yeah with a weird smirk. Over 50 people have posted on the town Facebook that their cars have had nails in their tires. My mom is driving my car now because her car has a nail in the tire. It's been almost 3 months. I'll post updates if anyone is interested. O.J. Simpson is Khloe Kardashian's father. Rob Kardashian himself didn't want a DNA test done because he knew he wasn't the father. And if you look at Khloe, you can easily tell she has some similarities to O.J. I quite like the missing cosmonauts theory. It's unlikely but seems like it could have been possible. It boils down to the idea that Yuri Gagarin wasn't the first man in space. He was just the first man in space to survive the entire process. Pretty sure I saw it here on Reddit at one point. But someone brought up the art trade. That these million-dollar art shows / individual pieces that go for insanely high prices are just a way for money laundering. There is a giant money laundering cycle driven by the sale of paintings. It's just a piece of canvas with some paint on it. I may understand some people would be willing to buy paintings from the Renaissance, but modern art is definitely a huge money laundering instrument. The Denver Airport Theory. I mean, the capstone of the building literally has the Freemason logo on it, there's some weird-ass apocalypse murals on the walls, the runways look like a swastika, and there's a 50-foot-tall horse statue with red glowing eyes. I mean, seriously, who the fuck designed that place? Some torture devices such as the Iron Maiden were made up hundreds of years later so people would think, well, a regular hanging ain't too bad then. That bitch Debbie that used to work in accounting stole the succulent I had on my office desk. She always made comments about how much she loved it. Then she quit her job here. I come into work the next day and it's mysteriously nowhere to be found. Haven't seen it since. McDonald's shake machines are never actually down, the night crew people are just too lazy to clean it. The whole aliens in Area 51 thing was to cover up the fact it's actually a military test facility. The good would rather have alien BS about that place than have other governments steal or sell their weapons and tech to avoid another war. Pretty smart in my opinion. Probably too late to this thread, but the idea that there are too many chicken wings for the amount of chickens sold. There is something like 1 billion chicken wings sold every Super Bowl, where are they coming from? The Allies certainly knew about the Holocaust long before April/May 1945, they never just happened upon the camps as they were defeating Nazi Germany. This begs the question on why they never lifted a finger to stop the importations, destroy the rail lines to the camps, etc., but they never did despite them knowing what was going on. That Toby Flenderson is the Scranton Strangler. When the Scranton Strangler is caught, they are watching it at Toby's desk and he is not there. The car the Strangler was in can be seen in the background at the office in multiple episodes. When Toby is pushing for radon testing and Michael says you are the silent killer, Toby replies with "you'll see" under his breath. The day Jim and Pam have CC, Andy holds up a newspaper that says Scranton Strangler strikes again. This is because Toby was furious. Pam, the woman he is obviously obsessed with, had a baby with another man. He's the Scranton Strangler 100%. If you like the content, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit the like button.